Hello everybody, welcome back to Sew Like Dotty. I'm Alison and let's catch up on what's been my sewing week. So I did have a shacket planned for this week. It is cut out and I'm recording this on Thursday, so I've got time Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think that's going to be my weekend sort of make, and I'll share that with you once I've got that done. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But I came up here the other day and I just felt like I needed a creative day. Does that happen to any of you? So although I've got my plans in Stash Hub and things that I'm wanting to make, and I've lifted the next few fabrics off, I just needed a creative day. So you may recall that I was doing some EPP big flowers that I was going to make a beach bag out of in May. Then I decided it was too big. Then it was going to be a big bed runner. And if you've followed me, that's gone all over all year, hasn't it? And I think it was when I was on Sew Virtual last Sunday, I don't know what was said, but I just thought, why am I making a bed runner? We don't have things like that on our bed. It's just going to get lifted on and off. I want to do something with it. So I've used one of them. I think the other two I'm maybe going to make a cushion or something with later. But I feel so much better that I've actually turned it into something, well, almost something. It's nearly finished. I'm going to share it with you anyway, and I'll just briefly show you it when it is finished. So this is one of them. Sorry, I've had to put the light on today because it is so dark. So these two fabrics are Tilda fabrics and the one in the middle is a Liberty fabric. And then I had this roll from Craft Yourself Silly, which is like a cotton that you can use for binding and things. I've got a couple of different colourways. So I had started attaching some white hexies to this, but I think that's why I hadn't gone any further. I didn't like how it looked. So I basically just started off, I sewed the strips together, then I've like appliqued this on. I started in the middle and worked my way sort of out, so that's fully fixed on, and then I quilted back down those lines. And what I used on the back was one of the quilts that I got from JYSK, which is a bit like IKEA. I don't know if it's international or just in the UK, but lots of the Sew Virtual group are using their quilts to make quilted jackets because they're just amazing value. So this is the same colour on both sides, and I did make like a gilet out of it for So Frugal, but I didn't like it. I don't think I'm a gilet person, if I'm honest. So I basically thought it would be nice to get that used up. So that was obviously already sort of quilted. So that's the front of it. The back of it, I used some more of the Tilda fabric because I had some, and I just quilted that in the strips. So the markings here are where the strap needs to go on, and then I can finish it off because I didn't have any webbing that I liked, and I have just put it down somewhere. There we go. I didn't have any webbing that I liked to go with it, and I wanted to keep with the natural stone colours, so I just ordered this one here, which is, it's not a perfect match, but I think it's going to go quite nicely with it. So my plan with this is, I did put a border on all of this. I spent time putting the border all the way around, and then I thought, oh my god, this bag is like beyond huge. I'm never going to use it. It was like bigger than the biggest beach bag I've ever had. So I basically recut the front and recut the back, and I've ended up with this bit left on the back, which I'll sew into the side seams, so that'll be gone. And I'm okay with the border, just the back of it just being completely plain. So what I'm going to use this for, it's got a specific purpose. When I'm going to socials, I often put things into my trolley, which obviously makes it heavier as well. But when I went to the social at Preston a few weeks ago, I took different machines. I took my Singer Featherweight, and sometimes when I go to the Tesco social here, I'm going to take my Singer Featherweight. And then when I went back to Sawtune, I was like, I haven't got my little EPP. I'm going like that. It's like play school, anybody that the hexagonal window. There wasn't one. It was square round or whatever the other one was. I didn't have things, so I thought, if I have a bag that's kind of my project bag and it's got all of those bits in, then whatever social I go to, I just know that I can pick that bag up and it's going to get used. So on the inside, I've put and I've just bound it with like quite a big pocket, which is big enough to fit that hexagon casing. So if I've got a picture, I'll put it in. It's basically, it's downstairs. It's got like my scissors, my snips, my pins, threaders, like, you know, for threading elastic through, all those little bits that you carry from place to place, tweezers, they're all in there. And what happens is quite often as I'm pulling it out, they'll slide out of the bag. It's got a zip on one side and I wish I had a zip on the other side, but I thought if I just keep it in here, I'm just going to pull it straight in and out of here, and then the other side I've just made big enough for my phone and my car keys to pop straight in there. So everything I need is with me. I won't need to take a handbag, everything will be in there. And the excuse the rustling, like these A4, are these A4? A3 project bags will fit into there. So everything I need to carry will be there, and then I can just put my project bag in and I'm ready to go. So I just need to attach the handles and then basically sew up the sides, and I think I'm going to use, I've got some of the Tilda fabric, I'm going to use some Tilda fabric or this fabric to bind the top. Not sure which yet, but yeah, I might just bind it in the beige, but I'll see. So I'll give you a brief share of that next time when it's done, but I did want to just share that with you today. Then what did I make next? Once I got in the groove, I was quite like full on, so I'd started that on a different day, and then I cut out this bag. So this fabric, I'll show you the fabric first, is, well, is or was from Little Legs. I'm not sure if they've got any left. You could get it in this green or purple. My friend Paula, when we went, got I think 3 meters to make the Pauline Alice duffel coat out of it. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. She's put cream leather toggles on and everything. If she'll let me share a picture with you, I'll put it in, but you know, obviously she might not be comfortable with that. And I just said if there's half a metre left, I'm going to get it because it goes so well with my green coat, and I'll put a picture of that in a moment to show you. Now, I know I'm moving away from bestie bags, but I just love a bestie bag, and when I bought it, I only bought half a metre because I know I can get a bestie out at half a metre, and that was my plan for it. So it's made. So the fabric itself is dual quilted, so it's got the green wool check on one side and black on the other, and I was like, well, should I line it or not? But I decided to line it. I'd always planned to use black faux leather on the like the side and the base of it. It's got nothing in, so it needs like padding out. So I did that, and then I had some brown linen left from my trousers. So I did the lining in brown linen, but I had some brown pleather, so I put that on the bottom because I knew that would give it a little bit more structure on the bottom as well. So I interfaced the lining rather than the outer, because although I want it to have some structure, I didn't want it to be completely rigid. So when I wear it, it will still, you know, bend, but it's not just completely flopping. I used all rose gold accessories, so zip, zipper pull, rivets on the, I don't know if that'll focus in on that, on the handmade badge. I took my time to get the check in, lined up and in the middle, and it's exactly the same on the other side. So when I was doing the zip, I was like, oh my god, I've even like pattern matched it in the middle. I had this leather strap I'd made previously for this bag. So you'll recognise it, and I'd put the rose gold little hooks on, whatever they're called, lobster claw clasps, and I'd done this. I didn't have rose gold rivets, and because I'm so impatient, I'd put gold in. But I got my jewellery wire cutters out and I've replaced them with the rose gold, so it's all rose gold now. And basically what I've got in my drawer downstairs are all my bags, but I've got a little basket with all my straps separate, so I can pick a bag, pick a strap, and I really like that. I know with the bestie bag the strap's meant to be integrated, and I have done some of those, but I do like that I can interchange the straps. So I had a little bit of this left, and I decided to make these little end bits to join it up out of the leather, because I knew that would be really strong. So you can see I riveted them before I put it in, and then I just slotted it in, and I could have riveted it. I have got some longer ones, like with the longer stalk, but I thought I'm not sure about getting it through all of these layers. So I knew I had leather needles. I've had them for ages. So I put a leather needle into my brother machine. I did think about going downstairs where my singer is, but I already had it in anyway. and I thought, right, I'll put it in, and I basically just hand cranked across here. Didn't want to use the mortar, just hand cranked it, took it steady, and that, I feel like it's really well supported. I could rivet it as well, but I don't think it needs it. I think it's absolutely fine. And I'll put a picture in now. So I got Lynn to take a picture at Sawtoon yesterday with the bag with my coat, so you can see how nicely they go together. I'm really pleased, really pleased with it. So that was that bag, and then there are some clothes later. When I went to Preston, Penny, who's one of the Sew Virtual girls, brought this big piece of leather. Let me just grab some. So it's from an upholstery factory, and it had some chalk marks on it, but they do wash off. They don't go off completely, but they do fade really well down. And it was quite a big piece. Beautiful. Oh, sorry if you don't support leather, don't please switch off. Keep with the process of what I'm going to do instead. But I love it. And she said, do you want this? And I went, yeah. And then I kept thinking when I got it home, I hope I can sew it, because obviously not all machines will handle leather. So when I had the leather needle in for the other bag, I thought, let's just snip off a couple of bits of that, go slowly with the machine and see how it handles it. So actually when the wrong sides are together, it stitches it absolutely fine. I just put it on a big stitch, like a 4.5 or 5 millimeter, stitched it very slowly to see, and it went through it absolutely fine. Now I wouldn't advocate with I've got a Brother VQ2 that I sewed on leather with that all the time, because I would wear the motor out if I did that, but for a small project here and there, it's okay. And then I was chatting to Frank, who I got my featherweight off, and he said, did you use your machine? And I thought, no, I should have just gone downstairs and used that. If I continue to make bags, I would love a machine that would handle bags, so I wasn't worried about leather, but I haven't got the space or the money to buy that more heavier weight, you know, the machine that everybody has. But a vintage machine, the ones that are heavier than the featherweight the featherweight might sew it. You guys might have used it, so tell me if you have. But for now, I've got enough machines. I've got no more space. So basically, I have a tote bag template that I made myself a few years ago for rectangles and a curved bag. I don't know where it was. So I just got my big ruler out and thought, okay, what's the biggest cut of this that I can get to make a tote bag? Because I had a vision of a leather tote bag. Country Cow Designs do sell they sell 3 no-sew leather bags. So if you're interested in making a bag but you don't think you can sew it, they all use rivets. So the tote bag is one long piece, and it sort of has like loops at the edges of it like that, which when it comes together they interlock, and then you rivet down the side of that, and they've got a really good YouTube video about it. So I knew if I couldn't sew it, that was my next stop to do that. And it does tell you on the printed copy what size of leather you need for that. But I thought, let's give this a go. So my machine wasn't as keen when it was right sides together and you had that more like that suedey rougher side just going over the feed dogs, but I just put my hand at the back and supported it through, and I took it really carefully. Like, I went so slow with my machine. I feel like I'm keeping you waiting. I'm not doing it deliberately, I just wanted to chat it through. So here we go. I now have my own leather tote bag, and honestly I can't even tell you how much I love this. I'm so pleased with it. It's completely simple, it's not lined at all. So I did originally do it and just folded it over, and then I don't quite know why I decided actually I might cut the bottom. I didn't need to, so I don't really know why I did that. So I just sewed up the sides of it and joined it together. Now I will be honest, with the corners they look like they've got this angle on. That wasn't designed that way, it's just how it is, because obviously it's quite bulky in the corners to push it through, and I don't mind that it's angled in the corners. So when would I use this rather than a handbag? So like the next time I make Paula in Leeds in a few weeks time, I would be carrying like a bottle of pop with me, and I might be picking up some little bits of shopping, so I might take a small handbag and take this as well. And I am waiting for, because I used gold hardware and I didn't have any gold 15mm S snaps, which are like a big press stud that I like to use here. So I do want to use, I'll probably just put one on. I do want to use like an S snap on it. That would keep it really secure, because to get to your purse, well, I don't even carry a purse, I don't even carry cards, I just use my Apple Watch. You know, if somebody was going to put the hand in, they'd have to be a long way down and have long arms. Shouldn't say that, I feel like I'm going to jinx myself now. But it do, yeah, I wanted something to secure it. I could have put a zip on, I guess. And I made the strap, so I'm equally proud of myself about the snap. So you can see the hardware is all gold. I did have some of these, I had them in different colours. Obviously that's a darker brown. It probably comes up brighter because I've got the LED light on. It comes with a rivet there that secures the D-ring, so I just used the gold rivets, the 3 of them, and that's really secure. And then I just riveted the strap on there. So I cut 2 lengths of this. I think I did it 2 inches wide. I sewed down one edge. I did 2 rows of stitching. Then I've got some glue. Let me get it. So this glue is called, it's by Beacon, it's called Fabri-Tac. And it's a permanent adhesive, bonds fabric, lace, glass, leather, wood, trims, grabs fast, dries clear, acid free and washable. Just say if you're using it on a garment you can wash it in an hour. And I've seen them use this on Country Cow Design, so I ordered some of that. And what I did was, once I'd sewn one edge, I opened it up and I glued all the way along, because I thought that'll give it more support, maybe stop it from stretching. If it stretches, I can put another strap on. And then I stitched down the other side, so I made sure there wasn't any glue on the other edge. But honestly, I am so pleased with this bag. So I basically made a full leather tote bag for nothing, because I was gifted the fabric, the leather, and the hardware. That's all that was in my stash. So what do you think? I love it, honestly. I'm like, I love it. And I think I just needed a creative day. I've said this before and I haven't had one for a few months. I feel like I've got a lot going on with the gift in November and leading to Vlogmas and different projects that I'm working on behind the scenes. And it's just nice to just stop and be creative with your sewing. So I am going to show you couple of little garments that I've been working on. But first of all, I want to say a big thank you to Ruth and Deb, who both bought me coffees recently. I know I've thanked you privately, but I always want to acknowledge that. It's really, really appreciated. And it might have been Deb that I was saying, I have got some like sewn days out coming up, so it'll be nice to use that money for a little coffee or maybe a bit of fabric or something. And I also wanted to say hello to Libby, but especially to Libby's granddaughter Alice, who, Libby's one of my Sew Virtual ladies, and Alice is a teenager and sews. And I was just asking her about it the other day and she went, oh, she likes to watch your vlogs, so hello Alice, keep sewing. Right, so the next 3 fabrics I got from Sew Affordable. I'll put a link into Cheryl's website in the description box. So you do order fairly regularly from there. Cheryl just works from home, I think. And the shacket that I'm making, you'll see them all together because I'll do a bit of a style vlog when I do the shacket. I wanted some colours of t-shirts that would go with my plain jeans, my like olivey green barrel leg cords and my shacket, so they were interchangeable. Now I know I said the other week, near t-shirt I'm not sure. We've got lots of threads within our Sew Virtual Facebook group and I started one about t-shirts the other day, preferably free. I'm looking for different styles. So I have downloaded the Closet Core, whatever it's called, the free t-shirt. I'll try and remember to put a picture in. Lots of suggestions on there, which is great, because I don't want anything sort of fitted on my arms, but I want to be comfortable with the shirt over, so I'm going to have a look at some of those. But I just thought, do you know what, I'm just going to knock out 3 near t-shirts because I like the drape at the front and they're going to have a shirt over them. So the 3 fabrics are, I think this is a cotton jersey, the grey one. I'll show you that in a second. That one's finished. This one, I don't know how well the colour will come out because I think it potentially could look cream, but it's actually a sage green. And that's beautifully soft, lots of drape. And then this one is a olive green rib. Now these were all around £3.50 a metre and I just got a metre of each. But when I was cutting this out I did have a little bit left, maybe about quarter of a, maybe half a metre, no. Anyway, I've got a little bit left and I thought, you know what, I think I would like to make the Sew Over It Know Me dress I'll put a picture in. I've made it before in a purple jersey. I think I would need to do the same with this because it's not overly thick. Maybe line just the bodice, the sleeves would be fine, and the skirt. So I ordered 3 meters of it. It's going to be what, just over £10, and there's a bit left. And it'll be fine to do the neckband in this, and it just has cuffs that are turned up and a hem that's turned up, so I don't need any rib or anything for it. And I thought that would be a really nice dress to wear in the winter, and because I sort of do want some dresses, but I want them to complement the rest of my wardrobe. So these went in the wash and were straight away turned into t-shirts. So this one is just to finish off. So the neckband's on, but I just need to cover stitch the hem. And I didn't think it through because I took brown overlock and thread. That was like the closest that I had, but it looks absolutely fine against the olive on the inside. But I had olive green regular Gutermann thread, but at home I never thought about taking it. So what I'll do is decant a little bit of that onto a spool on my brother machine, and then I'll do a wide cover stitch on the arms and the hem. So that's all that's left to do on that. And the same with this one. I don't know what I've got that's a close match to this. Probably a cream, I think. I overlocked this one in grey, but I didn't want to top stitch it in the grey. So this is exactly the same. I'll turn it through. The neckband's in, it's all creased. I'll probably just chuck it through the wash, put it on a, dry it flat, put it on a hanger, and then it'll be all good to go once it's finished. They've all been pre-washed. So the band's in. I've done the same as I did with the other one. So I've put the neckband seam on the side seam, not lined up very well at all, but that's fine. So I can pull it out front or back, doesn't matter which way around. That doesn't need a labelling because the nail pattern is the same front and back. So that's just a hem. And then the grey one, I took grey overlock and thread, so I got that completely finished. Switched the machine over to cover stitch yesterday, and I actually did it with the triple needle cover stitch. I'll go. So yeah, they just need, I might even do that. I'll probably do them tomorrow because I'm off to the Metro Centre today with my daughter for a few hours. So that was the sewing. I have ordered a few patterns to get printed. They're not here yet, so I'll cover them with you next time we speak. Hopefully I'll have a vlog out with you on Sunday. I've got a couple of things that I'm working on, so I don't know which one I'm going to share with you yet, but there'll be one coming up. And yeah, I hope you're getting lots of happy sewing done. And you know what, if sometimes you need just a little creative day, that's all right, isn't it? We can jump off the garment treadmill and do other things from time to time. It's perfectly fine. So I did just want to say thank you for watching, and if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. But more than anything, thanks for spending time with me today. Happy sewing, and I'll catch you very soon.